Hi everyone, I hope you can hear me. So let me start the recording. It seems like it has been recorded. It has been started, I guess. Okay, great. Okay, great. So today's topic is, working with the new Windows 8.1 features. So especially, I just wanted to have a quick update what have done so far. So my name is Ibrahim Kıvanç for the people who attended the first time. So I'm working as a technical evangelist in Middle East and Africa DP team. So this is my blog address and this is my Twitter address. Like if you have any question or if you wanted to access previous recordings, so please go there. We have recorded 5 different sessions so far. So this is the 6th session. So please let me know if you have any questions. So this is my blog address. You can go there and you can access all recorded videos, and at the same time, all materials and all slide decks from there. And let me know if you have any questions through there. So at the beginning of these sessions, we were always discussing about the roadmap. This is just for the starters who just recently started the development on Windows 8.1 or Windows 8 development platform. So we are just on track right now. We are just moving step by step, and this week also we will see the different topics and different contexts for the applications. So in order to check your position, where you are and what is your aim on this platform, please go to this document Windows 8 roadmap. So you can check where you are, and then you can get all regarding related resources, so what you really need. And today's agenda is we will talk about what is new in Windows 8.1 in terms of the new controls, new abilities in our platform. And at the same time, I will demonstrate some demos, and I will create some empty projects proof of concepts in order to show you. All samples will be on XAML and C#, and during any time you can ask any question, please let me know. So you can ask through your IM, and I can see through the question and answer side, and I will try to answer it. So also you can see the incoming sessions. So what are the other sessions we do have. So you can go here and you can check all related sessions in the coming days. So basically I just wanted to highlight a couple of things regarding Windows 8.1, and basically this will be just an introduction for what kind of abilities we do have. So basically due to the online webcast, so I will just demonstrate the easiest ones, without any hardware or without any the interaction with the camera or something like that. So I will just use my the normal PC. And at the same time we have some other abilities, we have a couple of updates on, for example, credit card reader or Bluetooth connector or HTTP binding HTTP connector. You can see all different changes or different abilities on our platform. So especially if you have watched the Build conference, at Build conference, they were just highlighting these kind of the 9 features. First of all, we have new HUD control. We will see in the demo. We have multiple views. Especially think about it, if you have more than 2 devices, more than 2 screens, so you can have a different view on your PC. At the same time, if you wanted to show your partner or if you wanted to show your customer when they are looking at a different screen, you can show them a different screen as well. So for example, there is a new web view which is really improved a lot, and there are lots of possibilities to do that. So we will have a look at that. As I mentioned before, the credit card reader, like in some countries in Middle East and Africa, it is not allowed, but like, this is just the proof of concept what we can do with a Windows 8.1 device as well. So lights and HTTP, the connection, we mentioned that, like, you can go to Build Conference and you can watch really cool demos there. So like, you will see like, how easy it is, and then you can see what kind of scenarios you can use like those features. So for example, Bluetooth connection, it is also needed as well. Like, if you have extra like Bluetooth connection and the Bluetooth device, you can connect it and you can control through your application. Same thing with like, the contact cards, and same thing with the Azure Mobile Services integration. At the same time, Play to Xbox. Like, we have a feature called Play to, like, you can go to devices and you can see in here like the devices, like, whenever you click play, like if there's an Xbox, attached to your PC or connected to your PC, like for example, you can share a screen or you can share any content onto your Xbox. So this is also a nice feature as well. So as I mentioned before, please go to that website, Build Conference. Like you can access through the Channel 9 blog, Channel 9 website, and you can get all related resources from there. And also, like, I have seen a very nice site for that, for the what is new in Windows 8.1. Like in a high level, if you will, they cover it. Especially, we have Internet Explorer 11. Like with Internet Explorer 11, we have like the desktop mode. At the same time, we have a new Internet Explorer as well. Like the truth here, like, you can go to any website, any single website, and also like, you can see like, what are the changes, what are the things you can use with your touch, you can use with your finger. So as you see, like, I'm using with my, like, the gestures. I can zoom in, I can, get the details. At the same time, like, I can like zoom back, and if I move to a different page, I can go back. So this is like HTML5. Like if you are developing any website or something like that, like, this is the way to do that. Especially going back is really cool. So this is one of the, the key changes on our platform on Windows 8.1. At the same time, like the app packages, like asynchronous programming. At the same time, controls, like, we will see like nearly all of them, like the application bar, like the web view, for example, hub control, like, we will see them. And at the same time, like the controls, like the layout, application bar, like the command bar or hub, like the hyperlink or time picker, date picker, or Philip view updates. There are some couple of updates as well, like we will see them. So basically, you can see like, what are the changes, what are the top changes in here. For example, 3D printing support is really huge on Windows 8.1. If you have a 3D printer, you can connect on your Windows 8.1 PC, and you can directly print as, like, printing a kind of like the sheet of paper. Like, you can do the same thing again. So there are improvements on the DirectX programming. Same thing with like the files, like the file pickers, like, SkyDrive as well. At the same time, there are some updates on multimedia, like the networking, as I mentioned, for HTTP client API, like there is a new one. And also you can directly connect your some devices through the Wi-Fi, like there is the ability to do that as well. So another one is like the background transfer updates. There are some updates on that side. Like, if you will check this one, like, you will realize that like some of these features is really needed for your application, and you can use in your application as well. For example, tools, UX and UI, like you can go there and you can check it. For example, text to speech. For example, you can integrate it into your application, and for example, whenever you type anything, like, it can just use the speech API and like to speak as a normal person. And same thing with Windows Store. Like, for example, we have some updates on Windows Store. For example, like in-app purchases or something like that. Like, being powered store search. like, there are a couple of updates. You can just go there and you can watch it. Like, again, I will share this document in my blog as well. So you can go there and you can check it one by one. So if you will have a look at like the APIs level, like Windows 8, like this is our WinRT platform, and also like, I guess you work nearly like all of the features in here. So what are the changes with Windows 8.1 update? Like, geolocation, like, the playtest scenarios, like the direct 3D, direct 2D, like the new controls, like the new contracts, like the services, like the Azure mobile services, like, this has been updated. Like, whenever you use those APIs, like, you will realize that, like, those APIs are updated. At the same time, like, we have new APIs. Like, for example, like the POS services, like point of sale. Same thing with the USB, Bluetooth connection, Wi-Fi direct, or HID. So, like, these are really cool stuff when you wanted to use in your application with, like, with the third-party hard drives. And same thing with like the graphics and media, like the 3D printing, like the scanning, WebGL, like you can see that, like the user interface, like you can see like the speech synthesis, like you can use that thing, and also at the same time HTTP connection, like the contacts, like you can access easily your contacts with an API, like your calendar, new calendar API as well, like with that you can access your appointments. Like PDF rendering is one of the new updates as well. So if you have any PDF content in your application, you can easily render inside of the application. You don't have to go to any application and run that outside of the application. So if you will move, these are the highlighted the new features of that. And also at the same time, you can use some APIs through the desktop. These are just the highlighted. So basically, I will just wanted to rehearse what we have done so far, especially with the new features of Windows 8.1. So basically we mentioned that we have new tiles, like the new tile sizes. For example, we used to have the medium tile and also the white tile. At the same time, with Windows 8.1, we have new tile sizes. For example, these small tiles, we do have right now. And at the same time, we have large tiles, which contains lots of information. On the top of that, we have two different new type of tiles. So we have integrated into our application. Like if you remember, we built a photo application, photo portfolio application, and we try to manage it. At the same time, you have seen how can you integrate in the secondary tile or the different usage in the application. So the tiles are the first door of the application. We have seen that. So at the same time, we have seen on previous calls, especially last call, the search box. The search box is one of the new controls on Windows 8.1. Whenever you go there, whenever you type inside of the application, if you wish, you can filter inside of that existing page, or you can forward it to another page. So it is all up to you. And also we have seen both scenarios. If you wanted to access them, please visit my blog site, and then you will see how you can use in your application this search abilities. And also we mentioned that whenever you type inside of the application, you can just focus and you can search it. This is just improving the user experience of your application. So to summarize it, let's run the application and let's see how it looks like, and then we can continue to the new features. So let me run the application. So if you remember, this is our application, photo portfolio application. If I will go back to start screen, I will see this small tile. At the same time, I can make it to white, or I can make it to the large. So what we did so far is if you wanted to go to any detail, for example, we mentioned that you can just click there, and then it is just updating the live tile wherever you visit. So this is one of the update, and also you can provide these kind of features this kind of like the live tile ability to in different forms of like the forms of tiles, for example, white tile or medium tile, like you can provide a different experience on the different user experiences, different UIs. So what we did so far is like first of all the tile, and another one is like the search experience. Like if I will run the application again, like we mentioned that like there is a new feature called, for example, if I search for Konya, and then if I press enter, like I will get the results. This is just another page, and like we call it like the search page, and you can access it again. Like whenever I click one of them, like I can go to detail, like we haven't activated yet, then you can get the details, and then you can go back. So like the third one, like the last but not least, for example, there is a new feature called like settings. Like in settings we have flyouts. So for example, we said that like whenever we type something in the search box, so there are some suggestions. If you wanted to clear that, like clear that history, so we implemented in our application into settings. If you will go to settings, there's a clear history. But whenever we run this application in Windows 8.1, it is coming as a built-in, like because like the flyout. Like this flyout help us to like open a new kind of like page in the application, like with a command. And also like we added that feature, like to clear the history. Whenever we click that, like history will be cleared, and then next time it won't suggest any like results what we had searched so far. So like the settings to settings bar is like another update which is coming with Windows 8.1. Like these kind of abilities are existing on Windows 8, but you need to like install some other third party like the DLLs for that. For example, there is a Callisto, like what you can use in your application. Callisto is basically helping the same thing, but that is just an open source project. Again, like the Microsoft developed that thing as an open source project, but with Windows 8.1 it is already integrated and already built in, so you don't have to like worry about it. So this is also another feature, and also we mentioned the settings as well. So another big update on Windows 8.1 is like the hub view. Like hub view is a kind of nice experience application view. For example, we do have on news application on Bing News. So for example, there is a really huge image. We call it like the hero image. At the same time, there is a topic and like a related that highlighted news. So whenever you move right, like you will have like the different type of context. For example, like here, get started. For example, on the right side, whenever you move right, like you will see that like the top stories. And then whenever you move right, like you will see like the resources, like the world news or something like that. But if you realize that like the type of them are different. So for example, whenever I go back, like in this semantic zoom view, so I can see the topics, I can see the different things. But whenever I see like these kind of things, so there are a couple of different templates inside of the application, like this one, and also like the top stories. They are sharing all different silhouettes. So this this experience existing in the finance application as well. Whenever you go to finance application, you will see the the big hero image at the same time like the topic, and then you can see in here like the different the values for the stock and the finance things. And so like you can see that there are some like different things. Whenever I touch it, I can see the details regarding to movements, like regarding to stock, and I can get detail again like the watch list, again like my finance. Whenever you have a look at that, there are lots of like a couple of different elements which contains lots of data in it, but in a different format. So if you will go back, it will run Visual Studio. So again, like I'm using the RC version of it. Next week, when we will talk about Visual Studio features, I will install the latest version. And like in here, whenever we start a project, so there is a new template right now. Like we used to have like a blank application, grid application, and split application. Right now with Windows 8.1, we have hub application. So let me run this one. So let me change it to the online sessions. Application hub sample. So whenever I create a new application from there, like, I have my resources on the right side, I will go to hub page. Hub page is like, helping me to like having a different kind of resources what we have on BingNet, Bing News, the Bing Finance, and like all other applications. They're providing the different content in a one place. So for example, in here, so again, like a different perspective. So whenever I run this application, let me check it like how it looks like. So for example, in here, like, there is an app hub sample. On the left side, there is a gray image. On the right side, there is a section 1, like with the image, like the text and the detail. In a section 2, like, there is no image, just details. Like section 3 is like, list of some items. Like section 4 is like the different one. But whenever you click any sections, for example, section 3, like you will go to details. And whenever you click the any item, like you will go back to the details. Again, like the same thing in here as well. Like if you wanted to click directly, you can go directly to that item. This is good thing. Like, you can provide lots of information in a single application view. And people, whenever use their, like, the touch use, like the touch first devices, so they will have a really great experience through here. So instead of like creating like the 3 or 4 different pages and then showing them separately, like this might be a really nice way to do that. Like, you can provide the latest information to your users. So let's go back. So for example, I have a resource, like, I will just do the basic thing. So like if you wanted to, like, customize this thing, like, for example, I have a photo, like what I will do is I will copy that photo and pass it into my project. It is here, Zebra PNG. And then whenever you check like the subsection, so there is the image brush. Like with this image brush, like, I can change it. So what I will do is I will go to properties. In this properties, I will change that image. Like, image is here. So what I will do is I will change it to zebra. So like, you can access like this at the same time, like you can change the size of it. So it is all up to you. Like, however you wish or whatever you wish, like you can provide like this. So for example, if I run this application, so I can see the image whenever I move right, like, I can get the details. Like again, like I can put any single items, any single like the content inside of those items, like those hub control items, like this hub section. Then, you can go to like edit additional templates, like edit content template and edit current. With that one, you can access the old data, like, like a data template, like we call it like the content presenter in here, content presenter template. So you can show like the different items to the user. So this is one new update. At the same time, if you will go back, like, from the toolbox, also you can access like hub control. Like, you can drag and drop into your application and, you can access inside of that. But in order to see that, let's create a new project, new application. And, let's try to see it, how it looks like. App Hub. So I will create a blank application. So for example, in here, so what I will do is I will just, select a hub and, I will drag and drop into my application. So what I will do is, again, I will go back and, I will change the size of it. So the hub will look like fit to my page, and then, I will change the size of it. So in order to do that, I will go to layout, I will make it automatic, and then, horizontal alignment will fit the page, and then like it will be 0 and 0 margin to pages. And like this will be the again. So right now, as you see, like we have two different hub sections in our application. So you can access easily like any of them, and you can edit one of them. So for example, if you wanted to like change anything, like for example title. So for example, it should be around here, like the text. Oops. So it will be header, like header is hub. So we can say that like the hub view application. So same thing with like the subsections. Whenever I select subsection from the left side, so I will have the properties for that. Like again, like the header, like this is first. And again, like whenever I select this one, I can say that this is second. Also, you can do it like programmatically, like we are doing hard-coded right now. We are just doing it like manually, but you can do it like programmatically in your application. So in order to like customize this thing, like you can change the size of it, or you can like give the different things. But you can go to again like edit additional templates whenever you right click the hub section, then edit content template, and then you can say that like edit current. Like with that thing, like you will see an empty grid. So like you can change the size of that, and then you can put something inside of that. For example, rectangle. So let me put some different shapes, like the different views. So let me clear this header. Let me give a yellow color to this one and ellipse. Excuse me. And you can give an ellipse shape for your application. And you can give like the different colors and different things. At the same time, like I can go back from here to my main screen, and I will go back and I can to modify the second hub the hub section as well. Like you can go there again, like edit this one. Like again, like you can change the type of this one, this container. Like this is just grid one. Like I can change to like the stack panel, and with the stack panel, like you can put some like the buttons inside of that. For example, like this one, like the button, and then you can copy and paste it. Like you can have lots of buttons inside of your application. So this is just a basic one, and like you can have like the several like the items. So let me copy and paste it. So let me copy and paste inside of here. Like I can have like different the views of that. So whenever I run this application, I will have a view of like lots of sections with a different views. This is just a basic one, and then like whenever you like work on it, like you will see like what kind of different scenarios in your application. And also again, like in 200 samples, like if you will go there, like you will find really helpful resources for that. So there is a hub control sample. Let's go there and let's check it. So whenever you run the application, like for example, adding a hero image or adding interactive headers, like it's all up to you. So if I say launch full version of this application, like I can see the application, like with a different thing, like with a big hero image, like with the different images, like the different list view images, at the same time video. at the same time, like there are some form controls or something like that. Like to think about it, like you can provide a different like experience to like the users. For example, list view. Whenever you click this one, this is interactive, and then you can have more details regarding to that selected item. So like just go to this scenario and just check all samples. There are cool demos, and you can just have a look at it, and you can see how can you modify in your application. And my suggestion is like just go there and just select anyone, like just see like how they code it or how they used in their application, and try to have the same thing in your application as well. Like for example, dynamic binding. So how did they do that? Or same thing with hosting different elements like a media element or like a different thing. Just have a look at that and try to use it in your application. So if we will continue, like we have a new web view. Like web view is really important part, like especially like there are some websites or there are some companies, they have really nice web application, web UIs, but they have very limited time to integrate into Windows 8 application. So what can they do is like they can easily integrate any single the web view, like the web view inside of their application. So the important one is like that was just not a web view. For example, in Windows 8 or in Silverlight or WPF, whenever you add a web view, it is just layered, like it is adding into application on the top of everything. It is just like creating an IE inheritance, and then it is just running on the top of everything. So, but it is really hard to use it in, for example, embedded application. Like for example, if you embedded that web view into a sliding, a panning mechanism in your application, so there is a for example, lag in the application. That was a really bad thing. So I will create a sample for like the application web view in order to show you like some new features of the web view. So for example, like I created a new project, like the empty project, and I will use a web view inside of that. So for example, I drag and drop a web view in my application, and I will try to resize it. And I will try to use in my application. So the good thing is like you can change rotation, like you can like to give a different perspective, like it is all up to you. So there is a like the source target, like you can give any single website, for example http microsoft.com. For example, whenever you give this website, so let's run this application and let's see how it looks like. So I guess there is a problem with sizing. Okay, it's okay right now. So let's run it. So like it is just opening a new web view inside of here, and then as you see, like you can see the details regarding the website, and also this is touch enabled, and I can use it like in my application. Like it is all up to you. Whenever you give any sizes to your like the web view, it will just get that size of the view. So for example, what can we do is like we can change rotation, or we can do anything else. But besides that, like especially ordering was a really big problem in Windows 8. So for example, if you have a rectangle and if you put inside of your application, so for example, whenever you put on the top of the web view, but when you run the application, it was just coming in front of like going back of your like web view, even you ordered as a show in the front. So what it does is like the basic like this one, and also same thing with like whenever you put some buttons or any elements. So it is just giving a different view. Like for example, let me change the color. This is just a white right now. So let me change it to black, like with a border brush and other thing. So whenever I run this one, so I can have a different view. Like my web view will be on the back side. Oops, there's the length problem. So whenever you run this application, like you can have a web view inside of that. Oh my God, there is a problem with the website. So let me put our, for example, different website for that. For example, Mi Influencer is a community application which has been launched recently. Like you can see that. So for example, like here, like you can see a button there, like you can give an action, but this is on the top of web view. At the same time, there is another button, like you can just see that, and at the same time, like there's a rectangle on the top of this web view. So this is good, but this is not at all. So for example, let's run this application. Let's open this application in Blend. I just wanted to work with some features of web view there in order to show it like easily. So for example, if you wanted to give some rotations like transform render for your elements, so what you will do is you will just go to transform, and then you will use this angle, like you will just change the scale of it. Same thing with like the orientation, like these kind of stuff. So this is really helpful, like very flexible, like with whatever you wish or whatever you want to do, like you can do like inside of here. Like even in this case, like whenever you run this application, so with a really different like the perspective and different the view, like you can have the same view, and then like with the same that in that rotation, in that the transform. So this is really good. Like think about the possibilities, think about the opportunities what you can do like with these kind of features. Like if you have a web view, like just want to render inside of the application, it is very easy right now. So like think about it. This is just for like improving the user experience of your application. So that's all. That's all for the web view. And also there are lots of improvements. Like if you will go back to slide, and there is a link for that, like on our App Builder blog. So they listed the new features of Windows 8.1 web view, like what it support, like in HTML and JavaScript, and even in the XAML, like you can see the differences. Like you can see the the highlights. So please go to here and please check all functionalities, like all possibilities, and then you can see that thing, especially like for the local state directories, like working, like running any single website inside of your application, like downloading them inside of your application. Like especially security was a really big problem. There are some workarounds, there are some ways to to fix those kind of problems. Just go to this blog post and try to check it. There are really cool features, there are really cool improvements. You will see them inside of there. So if you will continue, there are some other updates on the contents. For example, some updates on the controls. For example, flyout and also menu flyouts. So for example, as you see in here, on the left side, this is settings flyout. And as I mentioned before, you can easily integrate it. And also we have seen in our application, photo portfolio application, easily how can we integrate it inside of there. So at the same time, what I will do is I will try to use the menu flyout. In order to do that, I will go to my, for example, application. Let me close this one. Let me close this one. Let me create a new one. Let's say app controls. I created a blank application. So what I will do is I will just use this the flyout in my application. In order to do that, let's first go to the samples and how it looks like. Let's check it, like this remote sample. Again, like in 200 samples, you can find lots of the possibilities, lots of scenarios, lots of usages for those applications, for those controls. So please go there and visit them again. For example, in here, like the local machine, like whenever you run that, so you will see that like there are some basic usage. For example, whenever you click options, like it is just opening a menu flyout. Whenever you click like buy, like you will see that there is just a flyout, like what you can use in your application. And like there are some different things as well, like the shading of flyout, like using the different one, like the different colors, like the different things. For example, you can add these things like in any text. For example, whenever you click there, you can open a kind of pop-up, or same thing with the dynamic content. So like whenever you click there, like it is saying that this has been opened like 2 times or 3 times, 4 times. It's all up to you. You can do it. So there are some possibilities. What we will do is like we will basically integrate this option, like the foo bar, for example, this separator, and also at the same time this another item into our application. So let's check it how we can do that. So first of all, we will go to that feature, like this is in the scenario 1. But whenever we click the option button, as you see, like there's a button. Like inside of that button, there is a feature. Like you can see that button.flyout. Like in nearly any element, like you can add like flyout like this. So what we will do is like we will do the same thing. Like first of all, I will add a new button inside of my application. Whenever I add a new button inside of my app, so for example like this, let me go to here and let me close the button like this, and then I will try to open it. So let's say again like options. So I will go back to here, like in this button flyout, I will copy this one and I will pass it to my button. So this will help me to have a flyout. But like as you notice that in every single flyout there are some like event triggers, like the click. So whenever you click this item, like it will go to different the event handler. Same thing with the menu flyout, like whenever you open this flyout, what will happen? Or same thing with like this another toggle flyout item. So what will happen? So so what I will do is I will go back. We just passed it in here. So I can close this one. I don't need this one. For example, I can add a new option click. In order to do that, I can right click and go to definition, and it can be added in my application. So let me go back, and for example, this toggle, I don't need that. So and also we have a separator. So as you see, like it is here again, like in the XAML code. So what I will do is I will just run this application, and let's see how it looks like. We don't have any action, like we don't have any handler, like we have handler but it is empty. But let's see how it will look like. So for example, here is an option button. Whenever I click here, like I can have my like the menu flyout, and then I can check any single of them, and then I can like change it. For example, as you see, there is a toggle button as well. Like just try to like to use nearly all features, like the different colors, like with the different like usage. So this will really help you to like have a different experience in your application. Same thing with like this is just for menu flyout. Just try to use it a normal flyout, and same thing with the settings flyout. this will really help you to think about how can you use in your application. So there is a new improvement as well, like hyperlink. So the hyperlink is basically a link button, which is helping you to go to any website. So for example, if you will say that, go to website, this will be the text view of it, go to website. So right now you can give a URL for that. So in order to do that, for example, http influencer.com, I mentioned that community application. So you can go there with just one click through your application. So let me run this app. So here is the go to website. Whenever I click here, I can open a new web page, and then I can have the same view of my application. So this is just another good component what you can use in your application. Again, there is a settings for that as well, the normal layout and menu layout. So let's continue. What to have, pickers, a date picker and time picker. This was not available on Windows 8, and we were using a different custom or other third-party controls. But right now we have those tools. For example, date picker. You can use this. For example, this one, and also same thing with time picker. You can just put anything inside of there. For example, you can say date, please select the date or something like that. At the same time, please just select the hour or something like that. Please select the time. You can change the size of these kind of taxes. So let me change it to 18. If you are building a form, if you wanted to get any the time from users, so you can use these components. So let me run this, and also you can retrieve the time and other details like this. For example, let's put some text boxes. For example, this might be selected time or something like that. I would say take the selected date. I will copy and paste the same text block onto the time sheet. So I will say that txt selected time. So I will give a name to this component in order to access it. So for example, I can say that the date picker. I can say this one the time picker, and I can access it. So for example, we can again this option button, whenever we open that menu layout, and whenever we click any item in there for bar, so we can just get these dates and this time into that selected text boxes, these text boxes. So what I will do is I will just go there, go to definition, and for example, for date picker, for date picker there is a new type, or it is returning just directly the date. You can just change it to the string. So you can give a name to that text selected date to as a text. You can just assign from here, and same thing for txt selected time. Again, the same thing. So let me make it bigger. Again, you can do the same thing. This is just a time picker. this is just time, and like for string you can access the time like exact time, so you can get it. So basically we access those elements like those controls and those times and those dates. So then we are just assigning it to the taxes. So what I will do is I will just run this application. So for example, we selected like the 30th of October. Maybe we can pick the time for example 6 p.m. Like you can just select from here. So whenever I click options and through, like as you see here, like I can get time and like get the results from here. So like for the formats you can also work on it, like you can just like play with it, then you can have the exact time and the exact dates inside of that. So like this is just a basically like so easy components, like you can go there and you can just work with it, like go there and play with it. And also we have a new command bar. Like the command bar has been updated. Like this command bar has now like primary commands and secondary commands. Like this is all up here. Like you can log some for example buttons or log some function on the left side or the top right side. Like this is all up to your call. So for example, you can search for command bar. Whenever you search for it, like it is here. So let me make it smaller and I will unattach from there. So what I will do is like whenever you select this one, command bar on the left side, like you will see that primary commands and secondary commands. So you can also like organize them and manage them through the right side of properties. Like from the properties, for example, like primary commands and secondary commands. For example, in order to do that, I will click the primary commands and I will say add bar button and I will say add. So for that, like you can select any icons from here, like the small like symbol icons. For example, from the emoji, like you can select this one. For example, I will say like this will be my favorite. Like you can also put some label inside of that. I will say that like the favorite. And whenever I say okay, like it is just adding inside of my primary commands. But if I just wanted to add a new secondary command, in order to do that, I will go right and I will add again. Like I can pick anything, an image, my bitmap image, or my path icon, or like my font icon. Like I can select from here. So for example, I can say that okay, like this will be the A, like size will be like the black, like black, and also I can access from here. Like it is all up to your call. Like you can select anything. So I would say okay. Whenever I select it, whenever I save it, it just added into my secondary commands. But whenever we check the XAML, so for example, like that secondary command is coming like this. That primary command is coming like directly into our application. So whenever we run this one, let me run the application. Let me check it. Whenever I right click, so I will have my application bar like this, and I can see my that icon and also my favorite icon like here. It is just so easy to implement it in your application. Then you can add a click event, or you can add any event inside of these elements, and you can start using in your application. And also, there are lots of improvements. There are lots of features of this command bar, like all other elements like the web view. Please go to their official website, mstn.com, or the different blog sites, in order to see the specific features of all of them. Nearly every single element would be a separated session as well. So due to the lack of time, please go there and please check it. And another update, PDF render, PDF rendering is another update for Windows 8.1 applications. So it is directly coming with our the SDK. not the SDK, but the API. Like through the API, like you can access any single PDF file in your application or on your PC, and you can render it inside of the application directly. For example, there is a sample in 200 samples called like PDF API. Like you can ask for rendering PDF from here. So for example, it's saying that like render the page. Whenever you render it, like you can see inside of the application a rendered PDF file inside of your application. For example, this is just rendering in zoom level. Like you can see it in here, like in the all details, like inside of there, and you can watch it. So like this is a cool implementation in your application. So especially lots of partners or lots of companies are asking for this one, like displaying any PDF files inside of the app. So this is the way to do that. Like you can just go there and you can just have a look at this one, have a look at the APIs, and then you can have a clear idea about how it looks like and how can you use in your application. So basically, like we have like the PDF render options, like PDF rendering. So with the help of that, like we are just opening any PDF files, and then we are just opening it like PDF render to like string to async like this, like we are just rendering it. Then after that, like we are just displaying it, like display the full image async. Like whenever you go to that method, like it is just getting a rendered image of that PDF file, and it is just showing inside of the application. So that's it from this side. And also we have speech synthesis. Like due to the call, like you won't have that experience. But if you will go to 200 samples, there is another sample called, let's go back, speech synthesis sample. So you can go there and you can watch that, and you can check this one, for example, like this, like speech synthesis, and you can get more details. So basically what it does is it is just creating this speech synthesizer, like the object for that, and then it's just creating a like stream resource, and then you are just giving that stream resource to like the source to like any single like the element in your application, or just you can directly play it. So this is just the easy way to do that. Just go there and just check it. There's a question. So the question is, can we create a PDF file through the API? As far as I know, like you cannot. This is just a viewing PDF viewer for your application. But like as like there are several types of like that kind of APIs for the desktop, but not sure for the Windows Store. But you should like to search for like for other third-party options. So let me check it if there is a feature like that in our like the API. If there is, I will post it on my blog post, my blog site, and you can just check it from there. So if you will continue, like there are other like the types of like the different features on our platforms, like the People API. You can easily pick your any contact on your Windows 8.1. At the same time, like the Calendar API, you can easily access your appointments. Like you can create an appointment through there. So this is just an easy one. And also there are nearly 800 new features of Windows 8.1. So like there are lots of improvements on that side, but we just the pick very high level and most common features, most common the part of the platform. So if you have any request or if you have any question, please just let me know. Like, we can have a separated call in the coming days. So, this will really help us a lot. So today, we ended up like our session, like with the new features and the new, the elements on Windows 8.1. So you can see them. So like, if you have any question or if you have any, like, updates, please use my, like, email address, and at the same time my Twitter address and my blog. And also you can join to our, MIA Windows 8 Champs group on Facebook. So you can just, ask any question, or you can get the latest updates regarding the Windows 8 and 8.1, like through to our like regional champs. So do you have any questions so far? Please feel free to ask any question, and I will be really happy to help you on that side. I guess it is so clear, right? Like, I try to like explain the all tools, like the all new components and all new features. So like, I will post this blog post into my blog as well, and I will upload the video, recorded video. You can go there and you can rewatch it again. So like, please let me know for that one. So what is the difference? There is a question. What is the differences between command bar and application bar? Like, command bar is a kind of more improved version of like the application bar. Application bar is like, you are just aligning to the left side or right side by yourself, and like, there is no, for example, glimpse, or there is no like, the direct management, like, what I showed you in the pop-up. But in here, like in the command bar, like you are just adding like step by step. So it is really easy to do that. At the same time, you can give directly image, or you can give directly a path inside of any command icons. So this is the most improved one, like the most, the differentiated one comparing to the application bar. So whenever you use it, like, you will see the differences. So like there are really nice improvements, like, due to the ask from the region, ask from the developers. If I'm saying that it's so clear, thanks a lot. Like, these are new features, like, try to use like in your applications, like, to try to give like, different user experience to the users, like especially like this web view, or like the date time pickers, or the PDF rendering inside of the application. Maybe speech sentences, you can give a speech API, powered some solutions. At the same time, like, please go there and, please check this 9 things about Windows 8.1. So there are really cool features there. And also, please go to this website and please, to check every single feature there. The most probably there will be some features which are really needed for your application or for your application idea. So, like, just try to use it there. So if you don't have any question, like, that's all from this week. And like, the next week we will talk about again like the new Windows 8.1 session. So like, hope to see you all there. So please let me know if you have any question by email or by Twitter. So we'll be happy to help you on that side. So thanks a lot, guys, and hope to see you all next week. Bye bye.